Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
Batting seventh, number 11.
And welcome back to Kindred Varsity Field. We got more American Legion baseball for you. I'm Mike Bernier along with Wendy Bernier.
Good evening. Yeah, we were doing the earlier game, Kindred versus, who did we play? Watertown. That game, Kindred walked away with a win 6-0. So if you missed that one, go back and watch the earlier clip. And now we are ready for the evening game, game number 5 of day 2. We are one venue out of 4 that is hosting games for the Essentia Health Legion Baseball Tournament. There's baseball going on here in Kindred, Youngfield, Jack Williams, and Starion.
Wahpeton post 20. We're taking on them as the Kindred Vikings will host them post 117. Here's the starting lineup for post 20 under head coach Chris Kappas. He's assisted by Steve Hockert and Skylar Blado. Batting first and playing at first base is Trayton King. Batting second and pitching is Carter Hockert. Batting third and playing at shortstop is Aiden Hayek. Batting cleanup and playing in right field is Kaysen Pinsenolt. Playing in center field and batting fifth is Braden Steffens. And batting sixth, the designated hitter Eli Kappas. Batting seventh and playing over at third base is Rylan Flack. And batting eighth is Ryan Braun. He plays out in left field, and doing the catching is Aiden Hendrickson, and he bats ninth. Being designated hit for will be the second baseman Riley Jones. Kelby Erdman will be on the mound for the Kindred Vikings. We'll bring you the full lineup shortly when we come back. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with American Legion Baseball on yourliveevent.com.
Andy Trump. Head coach for the Vikings, Josh Omeris. He's assisted by Nick Eggman, Dean Wexo, and Oakley DuBois.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us for Legion Baseball tonight. We are one location out of 4 that is playing some Essentia Health Legion Baseball tournament games. And we just wrapped up a national anthem. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. We can't air it, for music rights, but you need to come out and hear that one in person. Miss Heidi Hess, mom, to the two players, Sawyer and Graham. It's unreal. It's fabulous.
Phenomenal. Yeah. Literally goosebumps up here, and everybody in the press box is just amazed. And I'm sure the fans, you could actually hear the fans' reactions when she hits the high note.
Yeah.
You could hear the fans in the crowd going, "Oh my," something like that, and having a reaction to that. So
yeah, she does a great job. Great job.
Wahpeton Post 20 in town for this Essentia Health American Legion Baseball Tournament. Kindred will host them. Here's a starting lineup for the Kindred Vikings. In center field and batting first, Brady Baumgarten. Batting second, playing in left field, is Kylan Swinson. Batting third and doing the catching is Graham Hess. Batting cleanup, getting the start in right field tonight, Jeremy Knight. Batting fifth and playing at third base, Tyler Grunwald. Batting sixth and playing at designated hitter Dylan Stone. Playing over at first base, Sawyer Hess, batting seventh. Batting eighth and on the mound tonight for the Vikings, Kelby Erdman. Jack McDonald gets a start at shortstop, and he'll bat ninth, and being designated hit for will be number 10, Andy Trom. He'll play over at second base. We're about ready for some baseball here, so starter Kelby Erdman gets the start.
And we'll just recap a few things before we get underway here tonight, some dates that you might want to put on your calendar. So tonight this is Legion Baseball, so they will have their regionals start in Devil's Lake for this Class A. That happens July 23rd through the 26th out in Devil's Lake. And then their state tournament for the Class A Legion is being hosted over in Castleton. So close to us, just a hop, skip, and a jump away, July 31st through August 4th. And then we'll have some Babe Ruth dates for you coming up throughout this game, too. We'll go through that.
Starting on the mound for the Kindred Vikings, number 15, Kelby Erdman. This will be his 7th appearance, his 2nd start out on the mound. He's thrown 13 innings. He's got a 0-2 record, but he did have a big save earlier in the season, and he comes into the game with a 3.77 earned run average. Very respectable, good solid ERA for the starting pitcher, Kelby Erdman. He'll face Trayton King to lead it off for Wahpeton Post 20. First pitch in there for a strike.
First pitch, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, our first pitch tonight, 6 o'clock on the nose.
We said we were going to start at 6, and we did. Here's a pitch, high fly ball, shallow, right field. On comes Jeremy Knight, and a sliding catch out in the outfield, and there's one down. Welcome to the ball games, Jeremy Knight.
Yeah, we've had some quick games today, and so I know they were originally scheduled to get this one underway a little later, but everything's been kind of bumped up and started early, so we've been pushing out that, announcing it on our Facebook page. So hopefully if you're not out here, you can join us, and then join us in person when you get here.
Swinging a foul at the plate for Carter Hockert. He's the starting pitcher for Wahpeton Post 20. Here are your umpires for tonight's ball game. Behind home plate is Joe Kleinwaltering. And out on the bases is Art Haugen. He was the umpire behind the home plate in the last ball game.
Swiss, do you want your wife to do a 50-50 again?
1-1 the count. Kelby Erdman pitching out of the full windup. Rocks and fires, off-speed, grounded foul, strike 2. Aiden Hayek is on deck. Kelby Erdman had the ball go towards the Kindred dugout. Somebody fielded it down there. I couldn't tell who it was, and Kelby was waiting for them to throw the ball back out to him. They finally got the baseball. We're ready to play again. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Out number 2. 2 up, 2 down.
Brings up number 12, shortstop, Aiden Hayek.
Erdman picks up strikeout number 14 on the season. Now here's a pitch. Fastball away to the shortstop, Aiden Hayek. Aiden is spelled A-I-D-E-N. Hayek spelled H-I-E-K. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now here's a 1-1 set and the pitch. Fastball, swinging a ground ball, chopped out to short. Jack McDonald with a chance, fires across the diamond in time, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Kelby Erdman and the Kindred Vikings. In the top of the first inning for Wahpeton, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. At the end of a half an inning, it's tied at 0 with the Kindred Vikings coming to bat.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us tonight in this last game, Game 5 of Day 2, part of the Essentia Health Legion Baseball Tournament.
A lot of good baseball being played in this tournament. For Wahpeton, post 20, the starting pitcher, right-handed pitcher Carter Hockert. Where's number 20? He'll face the top of the order. For the Kindred Vikings, Brady Baumgarten, Kylan Swenson, and Graham Hess. Brady Baumgarten leads it off. Center fielder swings and foul tips it. What a ball game he had in the first game. He went 1 for 3 at the plate with a hit by pitch, but he also played just tremendous defense out in center field. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Misses outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's a 1-1 pitch. In there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's a 1-2 set. And now the pitch. Fastball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's a 2-2 set by Hockert. Fastball outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And now here's a pitch. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Brady didn't think so. He goes down looking.
Yeah, he seemed a little surprised about it, but the umpire is explaining it to him what he thought about it, and Brady's like, all right. Now he knows.
1 down. First strikeout, obviously, for Hockert. That'll bring up Kylan Swenson. He's a left fielder. Takes up high for ball 1. Here's a 1-0 set, and the pitch. Fastball is up. 2 balls and no strikes. Aiden Hendrickson, the battery mate of the starting pitcher, Carter Hockert, falls behind 3-0 to Kylan Swenson. Now here's a 3-0 set and the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Kelby Erdman only threw 9 pitches in that first inning. Here's pitch number 11 for Hockert. Swing and a miss. The first 2 batters each go to a full count. Here's the pitch. Fastball up. He missed with this one. And Swenson draws a walk. We've said this before. A lot of very fast runners, good base runners on this Kindred Vikings team. We'll see if Kylan Swenson takes off. Kylan leads the team with 13 stolen bases. And now here's a set, and the pitch he does not run. It's fouled back off the catcher's mask. Strike one. Jeremy Knight on deck. Jeremy's already made his presence felt in this game with a nice sliding catch in the top half of this inning. Throw over to first base. Swenson is back in time. Ball gets away from the first baseman, Trayton King. Momentarily, he recovers. Gets it back to his pitcher, and we're set to go. 0-1 the count, and the pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. A throw down to the first baseman, Trayton King again, this time by the catcher, Aiden Hendrickson. Swenson's back in time. 0-2 count now to Graham Hess. Pitch is in there for a strike. Throw down to second base. Will not be in time. It skips away from the second baseman, Riley Jones. So Swenson does steal second base, but Graham Hess goes down on strikes, looking for the second out. And that'll bring up Jeremy Knight, getting his first plate appearance of the day and I believe for this tournament. Batting cleanup, plays out in right field, swinging a little looper foul down the left field line. Nowhere near the garbage can. 0-1 the count.
We should explain why you're saying that in a second. I'll explain what that's all about. That comment outside of context is needs a little explanation.
And here's the 0-1, swinging a high fly ball foul. This one is closer to the garbage can.
So, yeah, earlier this week at a game, I was broadcasting with Coach Almaris, the B Legion. Is that what we were doing? Yep. Yeah, B Legion. They all kind of blend together at this point. And Fisher hit a foul ball right into the trash can down the third base line out in the outfield.
Fastball misses away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count.
When you come out to the ballpark, you see that blue tent. You park over at Gilbertson and walk in. That garbage can is right over there by that blue tent. And Fisher put a slam dunk right in there the other day.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. Fastball up to the left-handed hitting Jeremy Knight.
So now when we hit foul balls over toward that direction at all, it's kind of getting tagged as you pull the Fisher.
Now here's a 2-2 set. Fastball outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Grunwald is on deck. Runner on second, 2 down. Bottom of the first inning, just underway. No score.
And if you want to see that amazing shot, you can find that game from earlier this week, Legion B, and listen and watch Coach Almaris make the call. It's pretty entertaining. Go find that clip.
He apologized for making a big deal out of it, but no apology needed. That's amazing.
No, it was a pretty cool moment.
Jeremy Knight draws a walk. Second walk issued by Hocker this inning. That'll bring up Tyler Grunwald. Playing over at third base. Nobody's put the ball in play for the Vikings. A strikeout looking, a walk, strikeout looking, a walk. Now here's a pitch, swinging a line drive down the left field line. Ryan Braun is out there. He's going to scamper over and make the catch. Hard hit ball. We'll call it a line drive to the left fielder for the third out. So Tyler Grunwald hits it hard. But he's down, and the Vikings are down as well in the bottom of the first inning. No runs, no hits. A couple of runners left aboard at the end of 1 inning. We're tied at 0. The Wahpeton Post 20 coming to bat.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Top of the second inning. Kaysen Pincinel, the batter. 0-2 quickly the count to the right-handed hitter. 0-0 top of the second inning. Kelby Erdman on the mound for the Vikings. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball over, and he strikes him out. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night as Pincinel goes down on strikes. 2 Ks now for Kelby Erdman, and there's one away. That'll bring up Braden Steffens, the center fielder. 4 up, 4 down for the right-handed pitcher, Kelby Erdman. Here's a pitch, fastball, in there for a strike. Kelby only threw 9 pitches in that first inning. Now here's the 0-1 set, and the pitch. Swing and a foul at the plate. 0-2 quickly the count. Foul ball kind of caught a piece of Graham Hess back there, so the umpire walks it out to Kelby Erdman to give Graham a little more time. Now here's the 0-2 set. And the pitch, off speed, grounded over towards third base. Tyler Grunwald throws it wild, and that'll be the first base runner for Wahpeton. An error.
That's Tyler over at third.
Tyler Grunwald fielded it cleanly and threw low, and Sawyer Hess wasn't able to scoop it out of the dirt, so it'll be a throwing error for Tyler Grunwald. So a runner on with 1 out. Eli Kappa steps up. He's a designated hitter in tonight's ballgame. And here's the pitch, fastball. He's going. Runner down, throw down to second base is not in time. And Braden Steffens steals second base. And Wahpeton has something brewing here in the top of the second inning. Runner on second with 1 down. Pitch was a ball. Here's a 1-0 to Eli Kappas. Ground ball out to the shortstop. Jack McDonald has it. Throws over to first. It's low, and it's going to get away, and that's going to score a run. And Eli Kappas is going to move up to second base as well as Braden Steffens comes across to score.
Coach, someone was yelling dead balls. It's underneath us, so we can't really see it, but Coach Almaris is headed out there to talk to the umpire because I think he was yelling dead ball.
I think what he's going to argue here and have the umpires get together and talk is that the ball either went into the dugout or got stuck down there somehow.
Yeah, it was a little more down past their dugout, down behind first base.
And so Eli Kappas would have to stay at second base. He would be allowed to go to second, and the runner would not score. He would have to go back to third base. But I don't think that's what they're going to agree with, and they're going to go with it as the play stands. Eli Kappas reaches first base on the air, advances to second on the same error, and Braden Steffens scores the first run of the ball game, and Wahpeton takes a 1-0 lead on that same error. So here's the pitch, fastball in there for a strike.
Keep the zone going, 15
Ryland Flack, the third baseman, at the plate. Where's number 11, right-handed hitter? Here's the 0-1 set. And the pitch from Kelby Erdman, swinging a pop fly foul. Out of play, strike 2. Ryan Braun is on deck. Here's the 0-2 set by Kelby Erdman, and the pitch, off speed, down low. Good hold by Ryland Flack. So 2 errors hurt the Vikings early on in the second inning. And here's a 1-2, fastball down low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's the 2-2 set, and the pitch, fastball away, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count pitch, runner on second, 1 down, and the pitch off speed, misses up high, and he walked him. Runners at first and second, still with 1 out. That walk isn't the end of the world. Now you have force outs at all the bags. Opportunity to roll a double play here. Ryan Braun steps to the plate. He's a right-handed hitter, wears number 3, plays in left field in the game tonight. Here's a pitch, fastball in there for a strike. One nothing lead for Wahpeton. Top of 2. Here's a pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Erdman ahead in the count, 0-2. Aiden Hendrickson is on deck. Now here's the 0-2 set. And here's a pitch, fastball down low. It's going to skip away. And that'll advance the runners on a wild pitch. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Wahpeton. One and 2 the count to Ryan Braun. And the pitch, swing and a pop-up, shallow right field. This could be trouble. Jeremy Knight comes in, and it lands in fair territory. And 1 run is going to score. Now they got the runner hung up between first and second. Graham Hess with the baseball, the catcher. He's going to throw it to the second baseman, and everybody's going to be safe. So no error on the play. It's an RBI single. The runner on second wasn't sure if it was going to fall in there or not, so he stood on second base. He was not forced to run. Eli Kappas does score to make it 2-0. RBI single for Ryan Braun, and he almost ran the runner off of second base, but gets back to first base safely. First pitch to Aiden Hendrickson is a fastball high, ball 1. So a lot of commotion there, but no error or anything like that. It's just an RBI single for Braun. Throw down to second base, almost sails into center field. Andy Traum grabbed it. Prevented the error. 1-0 the count.
And now comes Coach Almaris to kind of ease everybody down about this.
Quite simply, a little bit of bickering out there about who should cover what base and who should have gotten the out and who should have done this and who should have done that. So Coach Almaris, recognizing that, will go out and talk to his team and just say, hey, settle down. It's not the end of the world here. We're down 2-0. We're early on in this baseball game. Let's get our things together and get out of this inning and get the bats back into the dugout. Aiden Hendrickson is still the batter. So the inning started like this, a strikeout looking. Braden Steffens reached on an error by the third baseman. Eli Kappas reaches on an error by the shortstop. The throw is wild. Steffens scores from second base on that throw. Ryland Flack draws a walk. RBI single for Ryan Braun. And we did not have Ryland Flack advance to third on the single, so he remains at second base. So runners at first and second with one out. And the ninth batter, Aiden Hendrickson, the catcher, batting. 2-0 lead for Wahpeton, top of the second inning. One and 0 the count. And the pitch, fastball, swinging a pop fly, foul, strike one. Graham Hess gets a new baseball, throws it out to his pitcher. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors for Wahpeton. Vikings, no runs, no hits, 2 errors, both coming this inning. And here's a 1-1 pitch, fastball bunted out in front of the mound. Erdman has it, throws over to first base and gets the out. It's a sacrifice bunt for Aiden Hendrickson. He's out 1-3. Second out of the inning, Flack moves to third, Ryan Braun to second. And back to the top of the order, Trayton King. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to right his first time up. Kelby Erdman on the mound, throws from the stretch, fastball, little looper up the middle. Trom's got it, fires across the diamond in time for the out. So Wahpeton does come up with a couple of unearned runs against Kelby Erdman and the Vikings. We head to the bottom of the second inning. Wahpeton leads this one 2-0 with the Vikings coming to bat.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Viking Varsity Field. Thank you for joining us on yourliveevent.com, where we are hosting some Legion baseball between Kindred and Wahpeton this evening as part of the Essentia Health Legion Baseball Tournament. There are 4 locations where this tournament's going on: Kindred, Young, Jack Williams, and Starion. And we started with 20 teams.
Here's a pitch from Carter Hockert. This is a pitch outside, ball 1. 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Kindred Vikings: Dylan Stone, Sawyer Hess, and Kelby Erdman. Dylan Stone batting. He starts at designated hitter, up in the count 2-0. Right-handed hitter. Dylan Stone swings and fouls back. Good strong hack by Dylan Stone. Here's a 2-1 set. And the pitch, fastball, outside, 3 balls and a strike. Now here's the 3-1 set, and the pitch, fastball, grounded out towards short. Hayek has it, fires over to first base in time for the out. And Dylan Stone is out number 1 in the bottom of the second inning. Sawyer Hess, the first baseman, will step up. First plate appearance of this ball game. Carter Hockert with a pitch, swing, and a foul back on a high fastball. 0-1 the count. And the pitch, off speed, in there for a strike. Quickly ahead on the count, 0-2. Now here's a pitch. Fastball outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Each pitcher has thrown 31 pitches. Here's a 1-2, swing and a miss, and Hess goes down on strikes. 3 in a row, set down by Hockert. 3rd strikeout for Hockert. And now batting the pitcher, Kelby Erdman. Batting with 2 outs and nobody on. Trying to get something brewing. Here's the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Kelby has some pop in his bat. Here's the 0-1 pitch, swing and a foul back to the screen. No balls and 2 strikes. Jack McDonald is on deck should he reach. And now here's the 0-2 pitch. Off speed. Misses outside. The entire Wahpeton infield was running into the dugout. They thought that was strike 3. It is not. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. And Erdman goes down on strikes. 2 strikeouts in a row for Hockert. At the end of 2, Wahpeton post 20 leads it 2-0. And they're coming to bat in the top of the 3rd inning on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Welcome back, everybody, to some Legion baseball here in Kindred this evening, where we have the final game of day 2 going on. We had 4 games earlier today between Watertown and Seward. That one kicked off the morning, and Watertown won that one. And then Seward beat the Mandan A's in game 2. Game 3 was Watertown against Kindred, and Kindred walked away with that win 6-0. And right before this one, Mandan and Wahpeton went at it, and Wahpeton won that one 1-0. And now we are in game 5 of day 2.
It'll be the 2-3-4 hitters, Carter Hockert, Aiden Hayek, and Kason Pincinel. And here's a pitch fouled off his right shin for strike 1 for the left-handed hitting Carter Hockert. 0-1 the count. This will be pitch number 33 for Kelby Erdman. Fastball up high. Erdman throwing out of the full windup with nobody on base. Infield, outfield just playing straight up. Here's the pitch. It hit him. And Harkert is aboard. See if they have a courtesy runner for their pitcher.
That brings up shortstop, number 12, Aiden.
He's putting on the old sliding glove, the oven mitt, whatever the heck those things are called. So he'll stay in the ball game and run for himself. Aiden Hyatt comes up. He grounded out to short his first time up. That ended the first inning. Now here's the set. And the pitch, fastball outside and low, ball 1. Head coach Chris Kappas goes through a set of signs over down the third baseline, coaching at third. Steve Hockert, coaching over at first base. And the pitch. Ball's in the dirt. Hayek did show bunt. The pitch was low and in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 lead for Wahpeton, top of the third inning. Wahpeton picked up a couple of unearned runs in the top of the second. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball to left field. Long run for Kylan Swenson, and he tracks it down in foul territory for the first out of the third inning. Nice running catch for Kylan Swenson out there. Kason Pincinel will bat. He's a right fielder, wears number 5. He struck out looking to start the second inning. Now here's the set and the pitch. Fastball, check swing, called strike anyway. Now here's the 0-1 set. And now the pitch. Fastball, swinging a ground ball. Fielded over there by Tyler Grunwald, and a double play. Wow. Tyler Grunwald over to Andy Trom at second base, over to first base, and Sawyer Hess, and it's another 5-4-3 double play in the top of the third inning for Wahpeton. No runs, no hits, nobody left aboard. At the end of 2.5, we head to the bottom of the third inning with the Vikings coming to bat.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
Welcome back, everybody, to Viking Varsity Field. Thanks for joining us on this beautiful night of Legion Baseball. We are hosting part of the Essentia Health Legion Baseball Tournament this evening, and currently Wahpeton and Kindred are on the field.
Here's the first pitch from Carter Hockert to Jack McDonald. He fouls it off. It'll be the 9-1-2 hitters for the Vikings in the bottom of the third. Jack McDonald, followed by Brady Baumgarten and Kylan Swenson.
Carter had to put his pat back on and tighten that thing up.
Here's a pitch from Hockert. Right-hander kicks and fires. Off speed is across for a strike. One and one the count. And here's a pitch from Hockert. Fastball fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-0 lead for Wahpeton, bottom of the third inning. And here's a 1-2 breaking ball. Misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And baseball will continue here tomorrow. The powers that be are trying to figure out that schedule as we speak. So if we get that information, we will certainly pass that along. But if we don't, you can always find more information on the Kindred Youth Baseball Facebook page.
Here's a 2-2 set and the pitch. Fastball, high pop fly in the infield, playable. Shortstop Aiden Hayek calls for it and puts it away. And 5 in a row set down by Carter Hockert.
Playing center field, number 1, Brady Baumgarten.
That'll bring up Brady Baumgarten. He struck out looking in the first inning. Now here's a pitch. Fastball fouled away. Strike one. Carter Hockert throwing out of the full windup. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Off speed, fouled away again. Brady looked like he got a couple of swings at it. Good hard swings.
Getting some instructions from the dugout.
Here's the 0-2 set from Hockert. Fastball outside, misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 44 pitches thrown now by Carter Hockert. And here's the 1-2. Fastball outside again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a ground ball pounded out towards short. So it's going to be a tough play. Long throw across the diamond, and not in time. Brady Baumgarten simply too fast. But a nice play by Aiden Hayek. He had to go to his knees, backhanded it, got up and made a strong throw across the diamond, but Brady can run, so he gets himself an infield single. First hit for the Kindred Vikings. So 1 out, 1 on. Bottom of the third, Kylan Swenson will step up. He walked, stole the base in the first inning, was stranded at second base. First pitch to him is a ball. Graham Hess awaits on deck. Now here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball popped in the infield in foul territory. King over and has room and makes a catch.
I tried to get that for everybody, but just underneath us. Didn't quite get it on camera.
Now we're saying, what's the call? I don't know what happened down below us. It looked like King caught the ball to me, but did he drop it?
Well, they're going to discuss it here, and we'll know in just a second.
I think what they're going to say is on the transition. No.
Well, what's he saying?
So no, now they're going to say that he dropped the baseball. Now Chris Kappas is going to come out to have a discussion here. Chris Kappas, the head coach for Wahpeton, going to discuss this with Art Haugen, and they're going to say that he just dropped the baseball. So Kylan Swenson has new life. It's a 1-2 count. I saw Brady Baumgarten kind of put his hands up in the air and wondered what the call was, because I didn't see King drop it over here.
Yeah, it was kind of below us, so we didn't get a good look at it, but here we go.
Pitches away, 2 balls and 2 strikes, so Kylan Swenson's still up there. The at-bat continues. So here's a pitch, swing and a pop-up in the infield. King calls for this one as well, and he'll catch this one. No controversy there. 2 down. That'll bring up Graham Hess, the catcher. Hess struck out looking his first time up. 2 outs now. The runner on at first base. Throw over to first base. Baumgarten is back in plenty of time. Absolutely a threat to steal. Now here's a pitch. Fastball away. Ball 1. And Brady can't get through a baseball game without getting his uniform completely filthy.
He likes to get there. He's a hard worker and
Here's a little
loves the game.
Looper foul down the right field line.
Yeah, Brady's one of those guys. He just loves the game, loves to get dirty. A good teammate, always cheering on the guys and let's go, boys. I think I should put that on a T-shirt for him because he's always yelling that. Let's go, boys.
One and one the count. Now here's a set by Hockert. Throws again over to first base. Baumgarten is back. 2 down. Runner on first base. Bottom of the third inning. Wahpeton up 2-0. Now here's a 1-1. Off speed, popped in the air, foul, out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Good crowd on hand at the ballpark tonight.
Yeah, not a bad seat in the house. Got those high top tables if you want to stand and watch the game in the patio.
And here's a 1-2 fastball away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And a little bird came up and told me that the ice cream is selling really good, which I can totally believe because it is delicious. Lots of varieties and samples, so.
Here's a pitch.
Not
called strike 3. My goodness, it looked outside to me from up here, but it doesn't matter what my opinion is. Graham Hess goes down on strikes, and that'll end the 3rd inning. Wahpeton leads this one 2-0. They're coming to bat in the top of the 4th on yourliveevent.com.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Welcome back, everybody, to Viking Varsity Field for Legion Baseball.
For Wahpeton, post 20 in the top of the 4th inning. They'll send up the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. It'll be Braden Steffens, Eli Kappas, and Rylan Flack. Braden Steffens, the center fielder, he reached on an error by 3rd baseman. In the 1st inning, he stole a base and scored a run in that 2nd inning. That was the first run for Wahpeton. Nice double play turned by the infield. Tyler Grunwald over to Andy Traum to Sawyer Hess in the top half of the 3rd inning. A 5-4-3 double play. First pitch to Steffens is up high, ball 1. Kelby Erdman rocks and fires, fastball down low. 2 balls and no strikes. Kelby's pitch count looks pretty good. He's only thrown 41 pitches through the 3 innings. So here's the 2-0 pitch. Fastball up. 3 balls and no strikes.
Here we go, Kelby.
Now here's the 3-0 fastball across. Number 15, Braden Steffens. Leadoff batter, top of the 4th. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses away. Steffens is a leadoff batter. He's aboard after the walk, and that'll bring up Eli Kappas. He reached on an error by the shortstop, Jack McDonald, in the 2nd inning. Later came across to score. And that's where we stand. 2-0 Wahpeton. Top of the 4th inning. 1 on, nobody out. There's a bunt attempt. It's up in the air and a dive attempt. Nice attempt by Tyler Grunwald. It's just a long run for the 3rd baseman. It was an attempted sacrifice bunt. Eli Kappas pops it up. Lands foul, strike 1. Erdman throwing out of the stretch with a runner on at base. Sawyer Hess, the first baseman, holding him on. And the 0-1, another bunt attempt. This one is down. Erdman fields it, fires over to first base in time for the out. A sacrifice bunt for Eli Kappas. 1-3 put out, first out. And Steffens does move up to second base. Nice sacrifice bunt there by Eli Kappas. That'll bring up Rylan Flack, the third baseman. He walked his first time up. Was stranded at third base eventually. And here's a pitch. Fastball up and in. Ball one. One out, runner on second base now. And here's the set. And here's a pitch. Fastball hit high in the air to right field. Jeremy Knight comes over, makes a catch. No advancement from the runner on second base and Steffens.
Bring up left fielder number 3, Ryan Braun.
Jeremy Knight comes on, makes the catch for the second out of the inning. There's 2 down. And that'll bring up Ryan Braun. He had an RBI single his first time up. That came in the second inning. Takes a breaking ball away. Ball one. Here's a 1-0 set by Kelby Erdman. And the pitch, fastball, is up. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 runs, 1 hit for Wahpeton. Kindred Vikings, no runs, 1 hit, 2 errors. Now here's a 2-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. Now here's a 2-1 pitch. Fastball grounded over towards third. Tyler Grunwald with it. Fires over to first base. And that's the half inning for Wahpeton. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left aboard. At the end of 3.5, Wahpeton leads this one 2-0 with the Kindred Vikings coming to bat.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Legion Baseball here in Kindred.
Jeremy Knight to lead it off for the Kindred Vikings. He'll be followed by Tyler Grunwald and Dylan Stone. Bottom of the 4th inning, 2-0 lead for Wahpeton. Here's a pitch, fastball in. Jeremy Knight walked his first time up, back in the first. And here's a 1-0 set, and the pitch, fastball swung on and fouled back to the screen. Carter Hockert on the mound. He's thrown 58 pitches thus far. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Off speed, pounded out in front of the mound. Hockert fields it, throws over to first base in time for the out. And it's a 1-3 put out. First out of the inning. 3 in a row set down by Hockert. That'll bring up Tyler Grunwald. Hit the ball hard his first time up, with runners on first and second, but it went out to the left fielder, and he made the catch. First pitch to him is outside, ball one. Now here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball grounded over towards third. It's going to stay fair, and he throws over to first base, scooped out of the dirt nicely by Trayton King. Rylan Flack, the third baseman, fielded that in fair territory. Tyler Grunwald didn't run right away. He thought that was going to skip foul.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't work the camera now because he stopped, and I thought, well, okay, foul ball, but not. Fooled us all.
Dylan Stone steps up. He grounded out to short his first time up. Takes a ball. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a foul out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now here's a 1-1 set and the pitch. Fastball, swing and another foul back to the screen. 1-2 the count. 1-2, fouled again, back to the screen. Sawyer Hess is on deck. Should Dylan Stone reach here. And here's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. It's going to skip away from Hendrickson, and there will be no play at first base. And Dylan Stone strikes out, but reaches on the wild pitch. So the Vikings have a runner aboard. It does count as a strikeout for Hockert. And a drop third strike, it will go down as a wild pitch, not a pass ball. Sawyer Hess will be the batter. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Batting with 2 outs, runner on first. Wahpeton ahead 2-0. And a throw over to first base. Stone is back in time. Now here's the 0-1 pitch. It's in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, Aiden Hendrickson. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now here's a 1-1 set and the pitch. Fastball is up. 2 balls and a strike. And here's a 2-1. That one's in there for a strike. Now here's a 2-2 set and the pitch. Off speed, swing and a miss. He got him on strike. 7 strikeouts now for Carter Hockert. Third out recorded. No runs, no hits. 1 runner left aboard. At the end of 4, Wahpeton leads us 2-0 on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argusville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Kindred Varsity Field. A beautiful evening of baseball here in Kindred, as we are one location of the Essentia Health Legion Baseball Tournament that's happening this weekend.
For Wahpeton, they'll send up the 9 1-2 hitters against Kelby Erdman. It'll be Aiden Hendrickson, Trayton King, and Carter Hockert. Aiden Hendrickson, the catcher, he had a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd inning, so no official at-bat. 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors for Wahpeton. Kindred Vikings, no runs, 1 hit, and 2 errors. Erdman has thrown a nice ball game. 4 innings pitched, allowed only the 1 hit, 2 runs, both unearned. He's walked 2, struck out 2. Erdman throwing out of the full windup, rocks and fires. Fastball in there for a strike. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Kelby Erdman. Up high, 1-1 the count. Erdman gets his sign, throws a fastball down low. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now here's a 2-1 delivery. Fastball popped in the air in the infield. Andy Trom comes in, takes charge, calls for it, and makes a catch. And Erdman has set down 4 batters in a row. And 1 down. Top of the 5th. Trayton King playing over at first base. He's a leadoff hitter. He's 0 for 2. He flew out to right, grounded out to second. 56 pitches now. This will be number 57 for Erdman. It's an off-speed pitch, misses up. Now here's a 1-0 set by Erdman, and he rocks and fires. Fastball popped in the air. It's in foul territory. Graham Hess gives it a look. You hear it ping on top of that metal grandstand. It's a foul ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now here's a set by Kelby Erdman. Rocks, fires, off speed, up high. 2 balls and a strike. Two and 1 the count. And here's a pitch. Fastball up high. 3 balls and a strike. Now here's the 3-1. That one's in there for a strike. Ball pops out of Graham Hess's glove, but it doesn't matter. No runners aboard. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a foul. Infield, outfield again, playing straight up. Now here's a 3-2 set by Kelby Erdman. Kicks and fires, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Big strikeout for Kelby Erdman. Strikeout number 3. 2 down, brings up Carter Hockert, the opposing pitcher for Wahpeton. He struck out in the first and was hit by a pitch in the 3rd inning. Left-handed hitter. And the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Erdman looking for his second 1-2-3 inning. He's actually faced a minimum in 2 innings already. He put him down 1-2-3 in the first. In the 3rd, after he hit Hockert, he got a fly out and then a 5-4-3 double play. Now here's the 0-2 pitch from number 15, Kelby Erdman, off speed. Called strike 3, and he gets his 1-2-3 inning. 2 strikeouts in a row. And for Wahpeton in the top half of the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Kindred Vikings coming to bat in the bottom of the 5th on yourliveevent.com.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Kelby Erdman, Jack McDonald, and Brady Baumgarten to bat, the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Kindred Vikings. Still facing the right-handed pitcher, Carter Hockert. Carter Hockert's thrown a nice ball game. 4 innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, no runs. He's walked 2, struck out 7 batters. 2-0 lead for Wahpeton post 20. And here's the pitch, line drive, base hit up the middle. Kelby Erdman laces one up the middle for a single. And because he's the pitcher, we can have a courtesy runner, and we will do that. Timeout is called. We'll see who the courtesy runner is. It's number 27, Carson Getty. Line drive single for Kelby Erdman. He hit it hard. Second hit for the Vikings. And that brings up Jack McDonald. Carson Getty, a speedy runner, aggressive runner on the base paths, will courtesy run. McDonald's 0 for 1 with that pop out. Here's a pitch, a bunt up the third base line, fielded nicely by Hockert. High throw, and it's going to be an error. And Getty will reach third base. It's a sacrifice bunt for McDonald. He reaches on the E1. So runners at first and third, and Coach Almaris and the rest of the coaching staff gathered the players down right after that last half inning where Kelby shut him down, and he said, hey, let's get ornery out there. Let's get people on. Let's start running people around, bunting. And let's shake some things up, and that's exactly what they're doing here. And that ball clips Brady Baumgarten
right in the ribs. Yeah.
He got hit with that pitch. That'll load up the bases.
He kind of twisted in like what he would do if he were going to swing, and it just caught him right on his.
Well, either way, the bases are loaded, full of Vikings. So it's a hit batter. McDonald the second.
And Brady gives the thumbs up to the dugout. He's all good, he says.
The catcher, Aiden Hendrickson, will go to talk to his pitcher. So the bases are loaded. Vikings have something brewing here. Bases loaded with nobody out. And Kylan Swenson, the batter. He's walked and popped out. And the pitch outside, ball 1. Hockert kind of throws his hands up in the air. Thought he had strike 1. He's thrown 75 pitches. Here's the pitch, in there for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Graham Hess is on deck. Now here's a 1-1 set. And the pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike. Hockert again throws his hands up in the air. He thought he had strike 2. Here's the 2-1 set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Hockert has struck out 7 batters. And the pitch. Fastball popped in the air. If it's fair, it's an infield fly. It is foul, and it's caught anyway by the first baseman, Trayton King. Foul pop-up to first base for out number 1, and that's a huge out for Wahpeton. Coach Chris Kappa's coming out to talk to his pitcher. There was nobody warming up in the pen. I don't know that we'll have a pitching change. Perhaps we will, but we'll wait and see once we take a look at what Coach Chris Kappas is going to do. Hockert has thrown 79 pitches. Doesn't look like we'll have a pitching change here. What we will have is Graham Hess coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. The bases are loaded. Getty, the courtesy runner, over at third base. Jack McDonald on at second, and Brady Baumgarten on at first base. So speedy runners all around. And Graham Hess looking to get this ball in play. 2 runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Wahpeton. Kindred Vikings, no runs, 2 hits, and 2 errors. Both of the runs unearned for Wahpeton. And here's a pitch, swinging a high fly ball into right field. And it's a dive attempt, and it's down for a hit. Graham Hess is rounding first, on his way to second, and the run is being held up. And now it's going to be an overthrow. There's going to be a play at the plate. No, there isn't. Wow, 3-run score on the play. It's a 2-run double for Graham Hess down the right field line. And then Baumgarten is going to come across a score on another error for Wahpeton. I'm not sure who the throw came in. I believe that's going to be an error on the right fielder. The right fielder, Kaysen Pinsonolt, dove for it, and it got by him. He quickly got up and made a throw. And Stanley Belaski is the courtesy runner. He comes on for Graham Hess. He stopped at first base, but Graham made it down to second.
Yeah, I was lighting up first. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not what was happening.
So Getty scores. Jack McDonald scores on the 2-run double. Brady Baumgarten comes across the score to make it 3-2 Vikings. He scores on that error. And Stanley Belaski on to courtesy run. As Jeremy Knight steps to the plate, he fouls one off. And it's an 0-1 count. Jeremy Knight is 0 for 1. He's walked and grounded out. Next pitch to him is over for a strike. So the Vikings strike for 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd inning with the help of a couple of errors. And here's a pitch, swinging a ground ball up the middle, through the legs of the shortstop. Belaski being waved home. The throw to the plate is not in time. Jeremy Knight moves up to second base on the throw. And how about that? Stanley Belaski comes into courtesy run. He scores on an error by the shortstop, Aiden Hayek. Jeremy Knight moves up to second base. But more importantly for the Vikings, Belaski comes across the score to make it 4-2, bottom of the 5th inning. And here's a pitch, swinging and a foul by Tyler Grunwald. He hit the ball hard in the 1st inning. Hit a laser out to left field, but the ball was caught. He was out, and he grounded out in the 4th. So he's 0 for 2, trying to extend this inning and add to the lead. Breaking ball hit high in the air to left field. Ryan Braun goes back and makes a catch. So Tyler Grunwald gave it a ride again. Second out of the inning is recorded, and that'll bring up Dylan Stone. 4-2 lead for the Kindred Vikings, bottom of the 5th inning. Dylan Stone steps up, 0 for 2, ground out, strikeout. He reached on that strikeout. And the pitch, off speed, is in there for a strike. Dylan Stone to bat, Sawyer Hess on deck. And here's the 0-1 delivery. Fastball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 87 pitches thrown now by the right-hander, Carter Hockert.
Dylan pops it up, and the pitcher comes over to grab that one.
Kindred Vikings strike for 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. They lead it 4-2 on yourliveevent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Kindred Vikings drop 4 runs on Wahpeton in the bottom of the 5th inning. They have a 4-2 lead. Carter Hockert had thrown a shutout up till that point, but a couple of errors helped the Vikings get some runs across. Kelby Erdman still out there for the Vikings. Aiden Hayek, the shortstop, to bat. He's 0 for 2. Here's a pitch from Erdman, swinging a foul. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Erdman has thrown 5 innings, allowed only the 1 hit, 2 runs, both unearned. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And here's the pitch. Fastball hit him. So Hayek is aboard with nobody out. Kelby had set down 6 in a row up till that point. That'll bring up Kaysen Pincinel, the right fielder. He struck out looking and bounced into a double play. Runner aboard, 4-2 lead for the Kindred Vikings. 1 on, nobody out. First pitch to Pincinel is a strike. Kelby Erdman has thrown 71 pitches. Pitch count's looking pretty good. Here's the 0-1 off speed, misses up. 1 ball and 1 strike. So now here's a 1-1. Fastball swinging a high fly ball into left field. Kylan Swenson has it measured. He'll make the catch, and there's 1 away. Fly out to left. Brings up Braden Steffens, the center fielder. He reached on an error in the 2nd and scored a run and walked in the 4th. So he's 0 for 1 with a run scored. 2 runs, 1 hit, 3 errors for Wahpeton. Kindred Vikings, 4 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. Here's a pop-up, shallow center field, actually right over to second base. Andy Traum is right there, puts it away, and quickly 2 down after the leadoff hit batsman.
Yeah, Andy didn't have to back up or move too much for that one.
Eli Kappas will step up. He reached on an error by the shortstop in the 2nd, scored a run, and laid down a nice sacrifice bunt in the 4th inning. First pitch to him is a ball. Kelby Erdman on the mound, top of 6. Here's the 4-2. It's in the dirt, blocked nicely by Graham Hess. Pitch was about, a 52-footer. Came up on Graham Hess, hit him up in the upper chest protector. 2-0 the pitch. Fastball popped in the air, foul and out of play. 2-1 the count.
And we are 1 hour and 16 minutes into this nightcap game this evening.
Started right at 6 o'clock.
It did.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now here's a 2-2 set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. After a leadoff hit batsman, Kelby Erdman sets down the next 3 batters. Last one on a strikeout. After 5.5, Kindred Vikings lead it 4-2, and they'll come to bat in the bottom of the 6th inning on yourliveevent.com. Sawyer, yep.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Sawyer Hess, Kelby Erdman, and Jack McDonald do up the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Sawyer Hess up there, took ball 1, now swings at a high fastball, fouls it away. 1-1 the count. Carter Hockert still out on the mound for Wahpeton, throwing a nice ball game. Here's a 1-1 pitch, he hit him. And Sawyer Hess is aboard.
Hess is hit by pitch. I'll bring up.
Hockert has thrown 5 innings, allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, only 3 earned. Has walked 2 and struck out 7. And he hit his first batter, I believe. Now it's Erdman. No, Erdman has hit 2. I'm sorry about that. So Sawyer Hess is aboard with a hit batsman. So Hockert hit his first batter. And it brings up Kelby Erdman. Pitches way outside, ball 1. Erdman struck out to end the 2nd. But to lead off the 5th inning, Kindred Vikings down by 2. Erdman laced a base hit to straightaway center field, had a courtesy runner, and the Vikings proceeded to put up 4 runs that inning, including Carson Getting scoring after the pitcher, Kelby Erdman, singled. 1-1 the count. Throw over to first base is not in time. Sawyer Hess has some speed over there at first base. Hess does have 6 stolen bases on the season. 2-1 the count to Kelby Erdman. And here's a 2-1 pitch. Throw over to first base first. Hess is back in plenty of time. Now here's a 2-1 pitch, swinging a high pop-up foul territory. Flack will give it a look, but it's well out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2 set. And here's a pitch. Fastball is away. Runner goes, and Sawyer Hess steals second base easily. Nice block by the catcher, Aiden Hendrickson. The pitch was in the dirt, pretty much in the left-handed hitter's batter's box. He had to sneak over and block that one. But it is a stolen base for Hess. Fastball outside. Erdman draws a walk. Erdman is all kinds of pumped up. He can't wait to get out on the mound. He wants his team to score some runs here, but I think Kelby Erdman is ready to go out on the mound and close this one out. Carson Getty will courtesy run once again. So runners on at first and second with nobody out. Jack McDonald, the batter. He did lay down a sacrifice bunt last time, but reached on an error by the pitcher. So let's see if he's asked to bunt once again. And here's the pitch. Not bunting, grounded hard down the line, fair ball. And that will score 1 run. Sawyer Hess is being waved around. He'll come across the score on an RBI single for Jack McDonald. 5-2 lead for the Vikings. Getty stops at second base. Big hit for Jack McDonald. 4 hits now for the Kindred Vikings. Chris Kappas taking a look. Let's see if he's... No, he's just getting his defense squared away. He's not going to make a pitching change here. Well, maybe he will. Now he's coming out. Maybe. Now he's not coming out.
A little dance Chris does. In and out.
They're going to check at third base. Chris Kappas felt Sawyer Hess missed third base. They did an appeal over to third base. The call is safe. It is a 5-2 ball game. Chris Kappas not happy with that call.
Well, he's just kind of pacing around in front of his dugout.
We're back to the top of the order, by the way. Brady Baumgarten steps to the plate. He struck out, singled, and was hit by a pitch and scored a run in that 5th inning. He shows bunt, takes a ball. Vikings with a 5-2 lead, bottom of 6. Wahpeton scored their 2 runs in the top of the 2nd inning. Not till the 5th inning did Kindred Vikings finally come across the score, and they dropped 4 runs. Brady tries to bunt this one. He fouls it back, out of play, strike 1. 100 pitches thrown now by the right-hander. Carter Hockert, he's battled. He's thrown a nice ball game for Wahpeton. Here's a 1-1 set. And here's a pitch in there for a strike. Brady did show bunt once again. Got to think he's asked to swing away here. Now here's a 1-2 set. And the pitch outside and high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Remember the pitch count limit, the maximum is 105. Here's a pitch from Hockert, inside. 103 pitches now. Full count, nobody out, runners at first and second. Here's the pitch, fastball, outside, he walked him. Getty to third, McDonald to second. Great speed on the base paths. Now Chris Kappas will take a trot out to the mound. He can still face one more batter. If he starts this batter, he can throw more than the 105. Let's see if he makes a pitching change right away here. Doesn't look like he's going to. I think he's going to leave Hockert in here to face the last batter. For him, it'll be Kylan Swenson. Swenson is 0 for 2 with a walk.
50-50 tonight. Once again, we will have that here after the 6th.
Okay.
$79 on the line.
Well, I guess we are going to have a pitching change here. So we will have a pitching change. We'll take a quick break.
Yeah, two is up.
We'll have a pitching change. We'll tell you all about the defensive changes for Wahpeton when we take a break, and we'll come back on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota.
Back.
Ground ball up the middle off the bat of Kylan Swenson. A couple of runs are going to come across the score. Throw to third is not in time. Baumgarten reaches safely over at first base.
No, third. Brady's at third. Kylan's up first.
It'll be scored as an error on the second baseman, E4. Give Kylan Swenson a run batted in as Getty comes across the score. The ball skips out into center field, so Jack McDonald's able to score as well. Brady Baumgarten gets over to third base, and Swenson on at first base.
In the office, there's one.
Not quite sure what's going on here. It looks like the umpire needs a little maintenance. Home plate umpire needs a little maintenance on his injured left pinky finger. So the home plate umpire, Joe Kleinwaltering. Andy Traum is down there applying a bandage to his left pinky finger for the umpire, so there's a little bit of a break here. But what happened there?
At least it's not his toe.
Andy is our in-house medic on the team now. We'll have to check that off his resume list.
What happened there is the new pitcher for Wahpeton, number 2, Riley Jones, comes in to pitch. Carter Hockert stays in the game. He goes over to second base. The first pitch was to Kylan Swenson. He hit it hard up the middle, but the second baseman was right there. He knocked it down, and it kind of flew into the outfield, so give Kylan Swenson an RBI, but he reaches on the error. Couple of runs come across the score. It's a 7-2 ball game. Swenson on at first, Baumgarten on at third. There's still nobody out. So those runs charge to the starting pitcher, Hockert. He's still responsible for Brady Baumgarten over at third base. He went 5 innings, 5 hits, 7 runs allowed, 4 earned, walked 4, struck out 7. Throw over to first base is not in time. Swenson is back. The batter, by the way, is Graham Hess. He's 1 for 3, struck out a couple of times and doubled and scored a run in the 5th inning. Another throw over to first base. New pitcher, Riley Jones for Wahpeton. And the pitch is down low and in the dirt. Baumgarten got a little bit of a late break, and the throw to the plate is not in time. And the ball is dropped. A little bit of a collision at home. Riley Green holding his wrist area of his throwing hand. Baumgarten just slid into home, and he's safe. The ball came loose. The run scores. It's 8-2. Chris Kappas coming out to check on his relief pitcher. Paul Quisland going out there to take a look at him as well. Let's hope Riley Green is okay. Swenson did get to second and then to third on the play during the confusion. Vikings put 4 runs up in the bottom of the 6th inning. It's an 8-2 ball game. Riley Green, unfortunately, looks like he's gonna have to come out of the ball game. They tried to make the play at the plate. Riley Green covering at the plate. I'm not quite sure what happened. There was a minor collision between himself and Brady Baumgarten, so we're going to have another pitching change.
Yeah,
so
he walks himself back to the dugout, and we're after some ice down here to find that for him, and we will take a break as Wahpeton makes a few more adjustments, and we'll be back with more Legion Baseball right after this.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening for Legion Baseball.
New pitcher will be number 15, Braden Steffens. He comes in from center field. Started the ball game out there. Unfortunately, Riley Jones came on in relief, only faced one batter, and as he was facing Graham Hess, threw a wild pitch, and he was covering home in Brady Baumgarten, and he had a small collision at the plate. And so he was forced to come out of the ball game. New center fielder as well, number 9, Matt Peterson, goes into center field to replace Steffens, who comes on to pitch. First pitch to Hess is in there for a strike. Now this one's fouled away, and it's out of play. The count is 1-2 now to Graham Hess. Jeremy Knight is on deck. The inning started with a hit by pitch to Sawyer Hess. Kelby Erdman walked. RBI single for Jack McDonald. A walk to Brady Baumgarten. Then a hard ground ball by Kylan Swenson was mishandled by the second baseman. A couple runs scored on that play. Then a wild pitch scored another run. And Swenson went over to third. Now Graham Hess bats, and he takes called strike 3. So the new pitcher, Steffens, comes in and strikes out the first batter he faces. Here's a little ground ball foul down the first base line. Jeremy Knight, the batter. There's only one out. Jeremy Knight walked in the first, grounded out to start the fourth inning, and reached on an error in the fifth. 4 hits now for the Vikings. Here's the pitch. Fastball swing and a high fly ball into center field. This ball's hit pretty hard, and it's over the center fielder's head. And Jeremy Knight is going to stop at second base with a stand-up double. And that scores Kylan Swenson. Big double for Jeremy Knight. That ball was hit hard. A drive into center field. And it's 9-2 for the Kindred Vikings. Tyler Grunwald will step up. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times today, but nothing to show for it. He's 0 for 3. A line out to left, a ground out to third, and gave the ball a ride again to left field, but the left fielder tracked it down. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. If Jeremy Knight scores, this ball game is over. In this tournament, it's an 8-run rule rather than a 10-run rule. Here's a 1-1 pitch. It's outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. Dylan Stone is on deck. And here's a pitch in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Anything close now, here we go. It's close. It's a strike.
Now here's the 2-2 pitch. Fastball swing and a miss. Got him on strikes. And there's 2 away. Dylan Stone steps to the plate. He grounded out to short his first time. Reached on a strikeout on a wild pitch in the 4th inning and then popped out to end the 5th. Here's the pitch. Fastball. Check swing. Called strike. 9-2 ball game. Kindred Vikings put 4 runs up in the 4th. Now 5 in the 6th. Here's the pitch. Off speed. Nearly hit him. Inside. 1-1 the count. Sawyer Hess is on deck. And here's a 1-1. Fastball in there for a strike. From number 15, Braden Steffens. The right-hander rocks and fires. Fastball grounded hard over towards third. Skips off the third baseman. The shortstop will field it, but he'll hold on to it and wisely not make a throw. Jeremy Knight does get over to third base. Stone reaches on the air. And now, with Dylan Stone batting, that was batting around for the Vikings. Now Sawyer Hess will be the 10th batter. He started this inning off by getting hit by a pitch, stole a base, and scored a run. And he could end this ball game by driving in Jeremy Knight over at third base. Here's the pitch. Fastball in there for a strike. 2 runs, 1 hit, 5 errors for Wahpeton. For Kindred, 9 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. Now here's a pitch. Fastball outside. Kelby Erdman, by the way, has thrown 6 innings. 1 hit allowed, 2 runs. None of his runs allowed were earned. He's walked 2, struck out 5. Here's a pitch up high. 2-1 the count. Now here's a 2-1 pitch. In there for a strike. Steffens trying to close this inning out. And the pitch. Fastball, swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. But the Vikings come up with 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. They lead it 9-2. Kelby Erdman will come out to try to close this ball game out and get the victory. At the end of 6 innings, 9-2 lead for the Vikings with Wahpeton coming to bat.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial sales and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us this evening.
Kindred Vikings lead this one by a score of 9-2. Wahpeton coming to bat. They'll have the 6, 7, 8 hitters to bat. I'm sorry, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. It'll be Rylan Flack, Ryan Braun, and Aiden Hendrickson facing Kelby Erdman. Kelby's only thrown 79 pitches and has been in command. A couple of runs allowed in the 2nd inning. None of them were earned. He struck out the first batter. The next 2 batters reached on errors. There was a walk mixed in there and an RBI single. 1 run scored on a throwing error. Here's the first pitch to Ryland Flack. He's 0 for 1. He walked and flew out to right. Kelby Erdman trying to get himself a complete game win. And here's a 1-0 pitch. Fastball inside. 2 balls and no strikes. And here's the pitch. Fastball up. Erdman's only allowed the 1 hit. And here's the 3-0. Fastball in there for a strike. That 1 hit came by Ryan Braun, who's on deck. That came back in the 2nd inning. And here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball away. He walked him.
Flack draws the walk. That'll bring up left fielder number 3, Ryan Braun.
Ryan Braun steps to the plate. He had that RBI single back in the 2nd. He grounded out in the 4th. And we're going to have a pinch hitter. I didn't catch the number 8. Oh, it's Braxton Heitkamp, number 8. He'll pitch hit. First pitch is fouled away, strike 1. Braxton Heitkamp on to pitch, pinch hit, right-handed hitter. And here's the 0-1. Fastball is up. One and 1 is the count. Erdman looks on, kicks and fires, fastball away. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Is it Dylan or Dylan? Somebody was saying like Dylan yesterday or something.
1-1 the count. And the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Braxton Heitkamp. Runner on first, nobody out. Kelby Erdman looks on, gets a sign from his catcher, Graham Hess. Fastball hit him. First 2 runners aboard in the top of the 7th.
That'll bring up another pinch hitter. We have number 1, Dylan.
Number 1, Dylan Veerstraight will come on to pitch hit for Aiden Hendrickson. Aiden Hendrickson was 0 for 1. He had a sacrifice bunt and a pop-up.
Swing and a miss, that was.
First pitch to Veerstraight is a swing and a miss. 9-2 lead for the Kindred Vikings. 2 runners aboard, nobody out. Fastball popped in the air. This could be playable. Graham Hess comes over, and it's out of play. Landed on the third base patio over there. I see a couple of fans scattering out of the way.
All you, Kelby.
Here's the 0-2 set from the right-hander, Kelby Erdman. And the pitch off speed is up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dylan Veerstraight. And the pitch, swinging a ground ball, pounded out towards short. Jack McDonald flips over to second for 1. Throw over to first is not in time. So Veerstraight will reach on the fielder's choice. Heitkamp is erased on a 6-4 putout. First out of the inning, Ryland Flack heads over to third base and back to the top of the order. Number 13, Trayton King, will step up. He's 0 for 3. He's flown out, grounded out, and struck out. Kelby Erdman, by the way, does have 93 pitches now. And the set and the pitch, fastball up. Ball 1. Carter Hockert is on deck. Now here's a 1-0 set and the pitch, fastball in there for a strike. Here's a 1-1 set by Kelby Erdman. Fastball up. 2 balls and a strike. Kelby Erdman trying to finish this one out before his pitch count limit comes up on him. This will be pitch number 97. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fastball grounded foul. Strike 2. Runners on first and third with 1 out. Top of the 7th inning, 9-2 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Wahpeton scored 2 in the 2nd. Vikings 4 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th. Swing and a miss. He got him on strikes. Big second out for Kelby Erdman.
Brings out second baseman, number 20, Carter.
6 strikeouts now for Kelby. Now Carter Hockert will bat. He's 0 for 2. He struck out a couple of times, was hit by a pitch. First pitch is in there for a strike. This next pitch will be pitch number 100. And here's a pitch from Erdman. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-2 the count. Kindred Vikings looking to win their 3rd game of this Essentia Health tournament. Here's the pitch. Swing and a grounder on the right side. Traum has it. Throws him out at first base. And the Kindred Vikings win this one 9-2. Kelby Erdman all kinds of pumped up after getting the win. The Kindred Vikings win this one 9-2 after the ground out to second base.
We will be hosting a game at 9 o'clock.
And we'll take a break, and we'll come back with the Todd Wold CPA postgame show after this on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Welcome back, everybody, to Viking Varsity Field, where Game 5 of Day 2 just wrapped up. Kindred wins this one over Wahpeton 9-2. And we'll take a quick recap of the day while Mike's putting his recap of this game together. The game started Game 1, Seward and Watertown. Watertown walked away 2-1. Game 2, Seward over the Mandan A's 8-0. Game 3, Kindred walked away with a win over Watertown 6-0. Game 4, Mandan and Wahpeton. Wahpeton came up 1-0 on that one to win. And Game 5, like I said, Kindred wins 9-2.
Kindred Vikings, like Wendy said, win this one 9-2. The story of the game, Kelby Erdman on the mound. He goes a complete game, 7 innings pitched, allows only 1 hit. 2 runs allowed, both of them unearned. Those came in the second inning. He walked 3, struck out 6 batters, and he gets the victory for the Kindred Vikings. Offensively for the Vikings, Brady Baumgarten had a hit, scored a couple of runs. Kylan Swenson drove in 2 runs, scored a run. He was 0 for 3. Graham Hess went 1 for 4 at the plate, scored a run, drove in 3. Jeremy Knight had a couple of hits, drove in 2 runs. So he was 2 for 3 with 2 runs batted in. And then Kelby Erdman added a single in his spot, scored a couple of runs, and Jack McDonald also had a big RBI hit down the left field line, scored a couple of runs as well. So the Kindred Vikings win this one 9-2. The losing pitcher will be the starter, Carter Hockert. He threw a pretty good ball game. He threw 5 innings, allowed 5 hits, 8 runs allowed, 7 earned, walked 4, and struck out 7 batters. Riley Jones came in and only faced 1 batter, and that was Kylan Swenson. And he winds up giving up an unearned run after he suffered a injury on a play at the plate where Brady Baumgarten kind of cracked into him a little bit. And Steffens came on to pitch to close out the ball game for Wahpeton on the mound. He gave up 1 hit over 1 inning. He didn't walk anybody and struck out 3 batters. Offensively for Wahpeton, they had the 1 hit, and that was by Ryan Braun. He had an RBI single in the second inning. Kindred Vikings win this one by a score of 9-2. We'll come back with your Enbridge Player of the Game after this on YourLiveEvent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Kindred Vikings win this one by a score of 9-2 in our Enbridge Player of the Game. How could we not give it to the starting pitcher, Kelby Erdman? Kelby, how did it feel out there on the mound tonight?
It was awesome. I mean, I just kept pumping strikes, and everybody was making their plays, so it was good.
Yeah, you were having a lot of fun out there. You were getting the team going. You were having a lot of fun. It was fun to watch. You come up with a complete game win. You only gave up 1 hit. Did you realize that?
No, I didn't, honestly.
And that came in the second inning, an RBI single by Ryan Braun early on. You didn't give up any hits after that. You only walked 3 batters. You strike out 6. The 2 runs that you did allow came after a couple of errors in the field, but the rest of the ball game, Kindred Vikings came up for you big defensively.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, after that second inning, I was fired up, I guess. I mean, just needed to make our plays, and then everybody snapped out of it, and we got them all, made every one of them.
You were down 2-0 after giving up those unearned runs. It wasn't until the 4th inning, actually the 5th inning, and Kindred Vikings come out and give you some strong run support. They dropped 4 runs in the 5th, 5 runs in the 6th, and you got a big 9-2 lead. Did you feel a little bit more comfortable coming out there to pitch in that last inning?
Yeah, of course. It's a lot easier when you're up to pitch. So I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you were pretty fired up after you drew a walk in the bottom of the 6th inning. I know you wanted your team to score a lot more runs, but I think you were ready to go back out on the mound and close this one out.
Oh, I was ready. I mean, sitting in the dugout just waiting. I'm like, we knew we had an 8-run rule in this, so I was like, maybe I don't have to go out there, but I was still ready to just go out there and start throwing.
Well, you closed it out. You walked a batter, hit a batter. The first couple of batters in the 7th inning, but you get a fielder's choice, a strikeout, and a ground out, and that ends the ball game. How about your team putting up some offensive runs for you and giving you the win?
Yeah, that was sweet. I mean, our bats got hot at the right time, and we put everybody up to hit, and everybody was hitting it, so it was awesome.
Outstanding. This is the second time you're the Enbridge Player of the Game, so congratulations on the 9-2 victory. The last time you earned it out on the mound as well by coming in and closing out and getting a save.
Yep.
So good defense, good team win for the Kindred Vikings. You get to play a couple of games tomorrow. We haven't determined who the opponent is, but the Kindred Vikings will be ready tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure.
Any shout-outs you want to do,
I got to shout out Joan. She's always at our games, and then we had to take it to Wahpeton because she's from Wahpeton, so she likes when we beat them. So.
Outstanding. Don't forget about Mom.
Oh, I got to shout out my mom, too. She was here cheering me on. It was awesome.
Outstanding. Kelby Erdman, congratulations. You're the Enbridge player of the game, and we'll come back with the HTC connection of the match after this on yourliveevent.com.
Along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
And we're back with the HTC connection of the match. It's Jeremy Knight, the cleanup batter. He was playing right field. I tell you what, Jeremy, right away you were tested. You came in and got your first start in this tournament, and there was a fly ball, shallow right center field. You came in and made a sliding catch to get your team going. That was the first out of the ball game to help out your pitcher. How did that feel out in the outfield tonight?
Felt great. You know, I just kind of put my glove out there and said a prayer because you never know what's going to happen. I saw Trom kind of backpedal and struggling, so I had his back.
You made a nice sliding catch, and then you proceed to go to the plate, and you come up big. You go 2 for 3 on the night, and you drive in a couple of runs, including that big booming double to left center field. Did you know you barreled that one? Did it feel pretty good coming off the bat?
Yeah, it felt really good. Got a good swing, good pop on it. I felt really good about that one. Definitely my favorite hit.
Okay, that was a big booming double to left center field. That drove in a run. Your Kindred Vikings, you come away with a 9-2 victory tonight. How about that defense tonight?
Awesome. We've been pounding the defense on practice, and you got to love the team. You know, the heart that goes in this game, it's unbelievable. It's crazy.
You put up 9 runs. You come out, you bat cleanup. You're the right fielder, and you drive the ball a couple of times. You added a walk. You went 2 for 3, a couple of runs batted in. And the Kindred Vikings come away with a 9-2 victory, and you're the HTC connection of the match. Who's your shout-outs?
Definitely the teammates, you know, and they're always here no matter what happens in the game, and they're here for us no matter what.
Outstanding. Don't forget about Mom.
Oh, yeah, and Mom, always here.
All right, congratulations on the HTC connection of the match. And don't leave. We want you to stick around here, but we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with yet another interview after this. And so we'll take a break on yourliveevent.com.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
And welcome back. We're live at Kindred Varsity Field. Kindred Vikings pull off a 9-2 victory. So we're up here joined by the hitting instructor for the Kindred Vikings. It's Dean Wixow. So Dean Wixow, congratulations on the victory. And how do you feel about how these Kindred boys are putting the bat to the ball?
Yeah, we've been hitting really well coming into the tournament, and the first day, and then earlier today, we just didn't seem to have it going. And of course, I take it personally, and I want to get them going as much as I can, and because they work really hard at it. And I got frustrated a little bit, just thinking, wow, we got to get some runs in, and then they finally opened it up a little bit.
So what happens? Baseball shouldn't be a momentum game, but it certainly is. And we always talk up here about how not hitting is contagious, but hitting is sure contagious. And once you get the bats rolling, it seems to all come together.
Yeah, absolutely. The biggest thing is to try to get them to have the right approach when they go up there. And that's what we preach a lot is, hit the right pitches, don't get yourself out, don't go fishing, and have the best at bat you can. And I think once somebody has success with that, the rest of them see that, and they kind of go up with the same approach. So.
And what's the daily routine for the Kindred Vikings as you're taking batting practice? I would imagine it's not just when I played when I was younger, it just seemed like it was one guy hitting and everybody else standing around not doing a whole lot of anything. I know you're well more organized than that. So what's the process in a daily practice?
Yeah, I spend a lot of time in the cage at our practices, and then even before the games and hitting, they want to hit. They get in the cage and as much as they can, but I kind of just roam around the outside of the cage, and there's 4 tees out there, and they're always asking, hey, what do I need to do to improve? What's going on with my swing? And sometimes I can tell them easy, and sometimes I videotape it so I can kind of show them what they're doing. But I just kind of hang around, and the guys just actually really love it because they can answer their questions, and they all want to hit better. And but they've worked really, really hard this year.
I've been talking to you since spring brawl, and I understand that you wrote a book. Tell us about that book, what it's about, and how we can get a hold of a copy.
Sure. Well, the title is Outside the Box, and I guess what's behind the title is that's kind of how I think. It's outside the box. In fact, I don't know if I can think inside the box, really. So quite different, and that's kind of hitting too. It's my approach is just probably a little bit different, but it's about my own struggles growing up with ADHD and dyslexia that I didn't know that I had, and had a lot of struggles, and it continued. And when I did find out, that was a big thing. But it was just about all the lessons that I learned. I know the kids all the time are going, well, I don't need to read the book because I hear it every day, and that's kind of what I do. I'm always telling them about life lessons and trying to get them to understand that part of the game too, and they can really grow there. So, and then I do have a couple stories in there about the Kindred baseball team that from times past, but but it's just kind of how I overcame my adversity and how I use it to raise my kids, and then as they were growing up, I got into coaching, and it's just love to pass it on to the kids and kind of help them through baseball, but help them just become better people.
Outstanding. How do we get a hold of that book?
Yeah, that's right now it's on Amazon.com and Barnes & Noble. You can get them both there. They're talking about bringing in some locally at the store, but they haven't decided for sure on that yet. I'm hoping to have a book signing maybe there, and it's something that I never expected, and so it's all brand new to me. I'm just trying to do what they tell me to do that will sell some books. So.
Outstanding. Well, thanks for coming up, and congratulations on the big win today.
Yeah, thank you.
Getting these boys to score some runs for the pitchers.
Yeah, I was a little relieved when they did that. So.
And we'll be back tomorrow night, so don't go anywhere. We have a lot more baseball tomorrow on yourliveevent.com. We just got word, so thank you for watching. We'll be back tomorrow for more baseball. Kindred plays at 11:30, and I hope you can join us then on the game for yourliveevent.com.